Gaffer, absolutely the right decision.
1,000,000%. You know, 1,000,000%. You've seen after 6 minutes, you know, you've seen the back pass, and somewhat spoke about before the game. We've laid a back pass in, and it can totally ruin a game of football. You know what's happened. We were in discussions with the referees before the game and the assessors, and it was good enough to play at the start of the game. There's no doubt about that. And someone's just said they've a mile away. It's not even raining a mile away. It's absolutely just come out of the sky, fell out of the sky. Very similar thing to Accrington, you know, last season, where it just fell out of the sky, and you know we can't do anything about that. You can't control what I've just witnessed there. It's progressively getting worse. The trader thought when the referee come over was to say, can we give it 30 minutes? But I don't think that'll seep through in 30 minutes an hour, and you know I think it'll still be in a difficult state in 30 minutes. So absolute nailed on decision, but you know no blame from the referee's point of view. He had every right to start a football match, unlike the Wycombe game, where from the start the ball weren't rolling. The ball was rolling in the warm-up, and the lad said it's the best it's been for a bit, you know, because of the rain. I've probably wished too much rain on it because of what I've said in the press about it being bobbly when it's been too sunny, do you know what I mean? So, you know, it's one of them things, but, you know, the football club has acted in a professional manner, and well done to the ref. It's a brave decision that he's made.
He did everything right, came in, consulted both managers, spoke to you, you know the pitch, easy decision.
Absolutely, you know, you could just tell, you know, Danny May couldn't travel on it, and the way it was sticking, the way it was stopping, it becomes a dangerous factor, and the referee, it's great when things go well, you know, but if something goes wrong, the ball gets stuck, two players do an unusual challenge that isn't with the speed of the game, then you know there could be bigger consequences. So absolutely made the right decision. And a referee, people talk about the football, he's got a duty of care to the players, and he's used that wisely. But an experienced referee, they've got an experienced team down here, and they've made the right decision, and they've done it as a team. So you know, well done to the Referees Association.
Here we are 10 minutes after he's made his decision. It's stopped raining, but we know it's not going to drain.
It's not going to go through, and you know some Southend fans will probably think, well, you know, they'll drive home now and it'll be blue skies, but it's going to take a good hour for that to drain through, if not more. The youth team game was called off today at Carrington, again an onslaught of weather, so it's just we've just caught in this we've just been caught in this incredible
biblical, isn't it?
It's incredible. It's just come down. It's starting. All the forecasts were saying it was going to go over. Spoke to Mike this morning, 11 o'clock, when it was absolutely shedding down. He said the water will go before kick-off. So we just weren't expecting this onslaught.
What now then? What's the plan now?
I've gone into the dressing room and just said to the players, let's get a shower. Let's get them in a good state, and we'll go in having a chat with them. We might go back over to Carrington and do some training to give the potential of tomorrow off, or we'll be in tomorrow. So I'll speak to the players and see how they're feeling. It's difficult for them mentally. You know, you start getting up for this game. You know, Friday in the preparation, they've been the adrenaline's buzzing. You know, so it might demotivate them in training today. So that's something I've got to speak to them about. But you know, we'll just refocus, reset, and yeah, you know, as a football person, I'm gutted, and I'm gutted for the fans. And they look like there was a decent turnout today. The players have been well prepared, so yeah, absolutely gutted. But when it's not in your control, there's nothing you can do about it.
Shows you, don't it? Because your eyes can be deceiving. You know, you look at the bad parts of the pitch, and that part where you suddenly felt the ball stopped twice, I thought, well, that'll be it then. That looks all right, didn't it, from the stand? You did.
Before the pitch, honestly, I watched the warm up. I purposely watched it, and got near to the pitch, and it was fizzing. The ball was rolling right, it was fizzing. Within the last half hour, it's just stayed on top, and it has stayed genuinely on top. It's not even going through. Mike's tried to go out with the hog to try and get the water off.
King Canute described him as.
You've no chance. You know you're pushing water up an hill, and it doesn't matter if we'd have had 20 groundsmen with 20 water hogs. You're not getting that water off that pitch. It's got to drain through the system, and it's not been able to.
Good thing is, you know, it's not as if it's a fixture backlog. It's just the one game. Great
point. Yeah, we've been able to get games on this season, so you've not got that backlog, and you know it's gutting because we've had 2-3 weeks. It's been great to get it in, and you know the Southend fans that have come up and made the arduous trip. It's tough for them to then have a day off, you know, Tuesday to have a day off and plan again, and for the team, and in League Two sometimes it's difficult to pay for both fixtures. So there is consequences, and the club's acted in the best interest and professionally, and that's all we can really do.
You changed your formation today, didn't you? A couple of lads up front. What was the thinking there?
I thought Loy, when he come on last week, was outstanding, incredible in an adverse situation. But we've worked on it a lot this week in training, and he's been fantastic for Tom Eaves. As just talking to him, being up there with him, and giving us support for Tom Eaves. So yeah, we made a couple of changes today. They're a very direct team, very robust direct team. So when I look at Jonah and what he brings to us, down that right hand side, I was excited to see Jonah today. And then Tom Sawes, we've looked on it again all week. We've done a lot of work on it this week with Tom playing in that right back slot with Jonah in front of him. So the decision was probably just with Joe Riley getting sent off with 3 games. It just gave me an opportunity to look at a couple of things this week, and that's been the best fit, having Tom at right back being supported by Jonah. So you've sort of got real functional players down that right hand side to thwart what we're trying to do.
Is that, bearing in mind what you said a few weeks ago at York about that 40% stat, is that the sort of things in your mind when you just say what you just said there? And do you say actually anything different to the defenders, knowing there's going to be more shots on goal? The theory is anyway.
No, I think centrally, we're good centrally, and when I look at Kelv and Tuts, what they've done all season centrally, they've been very good. I think Sawes has given us an extra body in midfield, which has certainly helped. But when I look at the right hand side in Joe Riley, as a 1v1 defender, he's been outstanding, and us has really improved on that side of things, and that's how him and Danny have a formidable partnership down that side. And I was just trying to create a very good partnership down the right hand side with Jonah and Sawsey, whichever way I'd have done it, whether Jonah would have been, it would have given us more functionality in the team. So yeah, it's something we look at. I want to, all season we've not allowed teams to really attack us centrally, but this team get a lot of crossing from the wide. Wow.
Lots of Barry Corr, presumably.
Diagonals, Barry Corr, very direct from the keeper. They're one of the most direct teams in the league, and we had to come up with a strategy to combat that.
Right. I suppose the other possibly good bit of news is that you can't play this week, you can't play the next week because it's Easter. Might that get Danny Rose in contention?
It could do. I think we'll have a full complement, when the game's rearranged. Joe Riley can come back in as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have I believe with Notes, on the good side of being better next week, it'll give us a full complement of players. So, but I dare say, Southend's got their own problems and issues that they're bright for. But it gives us, a good 24 hours to really get some thinking in behind, just giving the players a bit of downtime. I've been driving them hard. They've been focused intently on the business in hand, and it might not be a bad thing for everything a reason.
Yeah. The other thing it's disappointing, but no one can do anything about it, is when you get sort of plugs to get down here on national TV from an England match and things like that. So I dare say there are 1 or 2 people here who don't normally come. It's disappointing from that point of view, but not you can do much, can you?
No, we've worked hard on that this week, certainly trying to drive people down, and with the international on last night, to get people in the local area just to come and see what we're doing. But hopefully they'll come again, and there's a good vibe at the club, and we can maybe promote off the back of that.
With regards to possible weeks, have you already had a discussion with Southend? You've got any idea what Tuesdays you're going to make that decision today? Do you think before they leave?
No chance. We'll just chat a bit of football, and then they'll want to get back. I think they've had the coach broke down. I think listening to some of the players, they've had a bit of a difficult 24 hours themselves, so I'm sure they'll want to get on the bus and get going. So yeah, we'll sit down Monday and calculate when we can get it in. We've got the schedule back at Carrington. We'll see what fits in with Southend and fits in with ourselves. But again, you look at the decision he's made, and that would have battered the pitch. If we would have carried on, I suppose the negatives to even starting the game and playing the game, it would have been calamitous for the next part of the season. The last 3 home games would have been just a lottery. So, were the Wycombe game we didn't protect the pitch, the referee has really made the right decision.
And just thinking, really, I suppose that leaves you with 8 games in the final month of the season. You know what's ahead of you. It's going to be an exciting one, isn't it?
It's been a good season. It's been an exciting season. The points total already has been a fantastic achievement from the group, and they're in good momentum. So it's something that we certainly want to carry on and know how to carry on. the players were up for this today. There was a real sense of belief and purpose to how we prepared for the game, you know. So they knew the importance of the game. Like Keith's alerted to, I think, in and around the stadium, there was a positivity factor coming into the game. So, you know, we'll just have to make sure we drum up that and keep driving that momentum forward.
And in a way, having more midweek matches, it stops the players from having to dwell too long about anything at all in the week. The more matches you got, the better.
It's a good point. After Saturday, you know, if there were a game Sunday, I would have played it. Do you know what I mean? It was that, you know, exciting and enthralling last week. So we've kept that momentum bubbling over. But you know, I'm sure a Tuesday game last week would have been what we've all wanted as a group of people. So it's a great point. A Saturday Tuesday game, you can really get a vibe and a feel for it. And get that momentum going. And
not too daunting really when you know that there's only a month of the season to go. It's not a case of tired legs at this time, it's a case of just get it on basically.
Honestly, it's been a fantastic season. I think the move to Carrington at the right time has lifted us all, and every day is a bonus day, you know. So the players don't want the season to end, believe me. You know, it's not a case of, they know there's nothing better. You give them a day off and they don't really want one. They'd rather come into work because that's the vibe that we've created, you know, at Carrington. So I've no problem with momentum, or it only been a month. If the season were 10 weeks long, I'm still excited by this season.
Okay, and I'm not supposed to be about Rob coming in from Bolton, but I guess as defensive cover for Joe's absence, really, was that the main thinking?
Yeah, it's we've watched him a couple of times now. He's impressed me, and again, it was an opportunity with the link we've got with Bolton for another player to come in and sample it and feel the environment, for us to really look at close hand at Joe and his qualities. He's done enough in games that I've seen him to obviously come in and be a part of what we're doing, and you just never know. So, you know, you get a suspension today, you get a couple of injuries, and then with a needed backup. I don't feel in the youth at the minute we've got that backup from in behind. They're just not ready. Certainly from a defensive position, we're still waiting for the physicalities to emerge and develop. So yeah, we've had to tap into a system that's working at Bolton, and Rob over the last 2 days has been top draw, and I've enjoyed working with him.
I was going to say, you've had Hayden from Bolton in that sort of position. How does he differ? What are his main qualities basically? What attracted you to him?
I think he can play left back as well as right back, so that gives us cover for us, which was important with Notes being out, you know. So we've moved pretty quickly on that, and even as a right side centre half, you know, if we'd have needed that. So I think the utility of him, and he's got good size, and he's a player that, like I said, he's got a regression about his work which I like. So I think Joe, obviously being suspended, alerted to us to act, but I'm glad we've got a chance to work with him.
Okay, cheers, David. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.